I used to be so enthusiastic about life. Waking up, making a video, and I saw the world in a very, very positive light. And then you get fired by a crazy client and boss. Look, these guys are fucking resetting my MacBook, and I didn't touch anything. It just reset by itself. You get taken advantage of because someone pretends to be your friend and uses you. You get into a manipulative relationship that ends you shattered, asking the world, what the hell happened to me? And then you almost end up overdosing on the wrong prescription drugs. And then you realize things are happening again and again and again. And it is terrifying. And I needed to realize to get to the bottom of this, what is going on? How do I hit the reset? Because every day just seems like another day. And I turned 30 a couple months ago. And I was like, I became everything that I did not want to be. And it was my responsibility to completely take accountability for my actions and figure out where went wrong, what went wrong, and how can I stop this vicious cycle. And then instead of me complaining, life always humbles you and you're like, wait, life can always get worse or be worse. And you don't really know what you have until it's taken away. A lot worse. No matter what situation you're in, trust me. If you guys don't know my story, I was on that content grind. I was willing to risk my own life to make YouTube videos. It doesn't matter if I had 1 million views or 1 view. No skills or all the skills in the world. I was determined to make it happen one way or another, because you wouldn't be able to see this video right now because I'd be dead, you know? So after 5+ years of constantly creating content on the grind, creating videos for other people, turning that into a job, and then having it all disappear, what I loved so much became what I hated so much. I looked in the mirror and I'm like, I became that bitter old man that hated the world. And I promised myself that I would never be like that. If you know me in real life, I am a very go-getter, hustle and bustle, disciplined, hard-working MFer. But then when depression hits, you kind of just lay there and you're like, I don't want to wake up right now. Why do I want to make content? No one wants to see me complain. And you just don't have the energy to do anything. And then that, in and of itself, becomes your new norm. Now your new norm is just laying there for an entire year, realizing and doing nothing with your life.
It's like that. It's like when you're in high school, you think you know everything, but in reality, you know very little.
So the first process of actually letting go and recreating yourself is emotional processing. Letting yourself feel whatever the fuck it is that you need to feel, whether that's mourning whatever situation that has happened to you. Understanding that it was never your fault, just your fault for whatever has happened. And whatever has already happened is not a direct correlation to your own worth as a human. But when you don't have a sense of worth, you think and you kind of string along the lines that everything that happens, or any person that rejects me, any person that leaves me, anything that horribly happens is because I, with the internal instinct of who I am within, thinks that that's what I get. That's what I deserve. If a person shames me and says, why are you like that? Instead of me being like, you don't really know me. I bend, I snap, and I'm like, maybe they're right. Maybe that I am this weird person that doesn't deserve success, friends, love, money. And it just goes down a really bad, dark rabbit hole. What actually does happen is letting yourself face every single one of those events and thoughts and patterns that you have been holding in for so long, whether that is you working so you don't have to avoid your own emotions, whether that's you watching countless hours of content so you can distract yourself. I needed to look exactly in the mirror and being like, okay, what is it all for? What is me turning on a camera? What is me making money? What is me getting famous? What is it all for? What are my actual intentions? Or is it just a big band-aid to cover up further insecurities that I have been running away from for so long? Once you're able to actually write down exactly what happened in your life, you can start to reevaluate these things. Because within every sort of pain, especially pain, that is where there is a huge lesson that you can learn from. That is when your unconscious becomes conscious. But I'll leave the rest of this mental well-being and state of mind for a future video. Because one thing I learned with working with white people is that a lot of the life, success, entrepreneurship, and all that stuff, it doesn't start with a great business model. It doesn't start with a great business plan, sure. But a lot of it comes with mindset. If this ain't right, nothing will ever go your way, or it will start just being a facade, right? The more facades you do, and then you start feeling so empty inside. You hit that 1 million subscriber, 100, 200, 200K, whatever, you buy your first home, you do this, you do that. Something will be missing because it's a mindset and it's a heart thing, you know? So the easiest way to reset this is I learned how to will myself back into the person that I knew I could be. Started going to the gym 5, even 6 times a week. Cardio, weights, running, you name it all. Scheduled, waking up at a certain time is so important. And now I am down 6 kilos, 14, 15 pounds. And I look and feel a lot better and literally lighter. There's a reason why I made all those I'm cutting X out of my life, this habit, that habit. Yes, a little bit of clout and experimentation on this channel, but it was also a lot of vices that I had within myself. So I'm like, okay, this is not good for me. This is making me gain weight. This is me killing my motivation. I need to get my ass back on track. And only you can do that for yourself. I needed to stop consuming content that put another narrative in my head that I should be more like X, Y, and Z, especially on social media. Everybody's trying to sell you something. And I needed to build that mental fortitude. And the easiest way is to cut that out. Stop comparing, stop looking at whatever else everyone else is doing, and start creating your own lane. Because I know your boy has been quite the entertaining person for a long time. But I just stopped believing in myself. I've been making YouTube videos for a minute. And the next part is you gotta attack life. Because no one's gonna do it for you. You can either live life on autopilot, working a 9-to-5 job, which is fine. Having someone else tell you what to do. Have your weekends and dinners. But what are you really striving for in life? What are you willing to settle for? What are you willing not to settle for? Plus, one of the things I realized growing up is I had a scarcity mindset. And this comes from other people with privilege being like, you should stop having a scarcity mindset. But when you grow up poor in entire life, it's all about survival. It's never about happiness. It's never about wait. I can really do anything I want. Of course, other people have it easier or harder, but I can literally create my own reality. I forgot what it's like to have fun and live a life, to enjoy, to go and venture, to seek happiness. And I don't need to be happy when I put an external thing like I will get 1 million subscribers and I will be happy. I will be famous and I will be happy. Why couldn't I be happy right now? Why couldn't I just live a life? When I went on this YouTube grind, I just put my head down and worked. I taught myself how to edit. I learned how to do business. I did not learn how to do business in other ways where you get burned. The amount of bullshit I had to go through when it comes to having no business experience, business chops, negotiating, understanding the world, it made me very bitter. It made me very sad. Once a person that was so enthusiastic, looking into my eyes where I'm like, I had fun creating these videos, man. But then now, it's just so empty. It's just so sad. Because I tried so hard to prove to people that I was trying to be good enough. And in that sense, everything was my fault. But I can fix it. I can reinvent who I am. As long as I am aware of these certain decisions and I stop doing these decisions, within the next 2-3 years, my life will be completely different than the past decade that I've been living it. And that, folks, is how I am in the pursuit of my own happiness, resetting my own life, and taking control. And it's fucking terrifying, man. Because for so long, I've been a certain way. But I need to look hard in the mirror and being like, I love you. It's been a long journey. And let's chase happiness for once.